I'd grown up around network marketing. So what I'm about to share with you guys has come out of 46 years of being around this industry. Okay, 46 years. Um, Most of that, if we're keeping it real, was failure. Okay, not winning at a high level. And I watched my parents for 20 years in the Amway business. They had a level of success, but really didn't have a lot of financial success. But what I learned from them was what commitment looked like, what loyalty looked like, what integrity looked like through the good times and the bad times. And I watched that happen. And over time, they got connected with a guy named Dexter Yeager, who happens to be the #1 income earner in the world over all time for all companies in network marketing. He is the guy. And they were able to get connected with him. And I started to be able to have some conversations with him. And when I understood that he did it differently, I thought, man, I'm up for doing that now. So for 20 years, I swore I would not do it. Then he had a different philosophy. His philosophy was use your product and build depth. And I liked that better than selling products. I wasn't good at sales. So I jumped in when I was 30 years old, and I was psychotic. I literally was psychotic for 6 years. I never took one day off, not one day ever. And we had no success. I mean, none. It was painful. And 6 years in, Mary and I both decided to quit on the same day. And I no longer believed that we could get the things we wanted. I had been telling this story for a long time, but I didn't believe it anymore. And this is important for you guys, once my belief changed, once the belief went away, everything else started to change. Now, it didn't look like I had quit. Stay with me. It didn't look like I had quit because I still showed up to events because I wanted the team that was still there, which were very few people. I wanted them to know that I was still in, or to at least look like it, so they would keep doing whatever, even though in my heart and my head, I had quit. And a lot of people, in my opinion, in businesses like this, that's what they do. They just kind of show up. They just look like they're going through the motions, but deep inside, they know they're not really pursuing a goal. So we quit that. I just thought, man, I'm just going to go back to my job and make the best life I can out of my job. And did that for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And then I got the phone call about World Ventures. And when I got that phone call, my first thought was, man, this didn't go well last time. So I'm not sure that it's really for me. Because it was vacations, I thought, man, we have a great membership. I like the idea of going on vacation. Most everybody in the world likes to pay lower prices when they vacation. So I thought, hey, that's good. I think that'll work. The business side, candidly, I did the business only for the tax deductions. Here in the United States, there's we get tax benefit by doing the business here. So that's why I did the business. 1 year in, we had hit director. And just so you know, my wife, Mary, who is now a trainer with the company, she wanted nothing to do with this. I mean, nothing. Did not want me to talk to her about it, didn't want to hear about it, nothing. And it's because our past experience was so painful. I mean, it was really bad. And we almost divorced after we got done with the Amway thing. And so she did not want to live that nightmare again, which was okay with me. But she had enough respect for me to say, if you want to do it, it's your thing. You do it. That was fine. I never, listen to me, if you are married or you have a partner, you have other people that you wanted them to do this with you, I never asked her to do anything. Once she said it was my thing, I agreed, and then that was okay. I continued on my commitment, and she came along in her own time. This is huge, you guys, because too many of us want somebody there, which we want certain does no, and you can't care about that part. So I got started, and about a year in, hit director. 2 years in, hit marketing director. Um, I had set my goal at the beginning for marketing director. I did not set it for RMD because I didn't believe that I could hit RMD. And this is because of the past experience that I had, the lack of success, watching my parents not really get too far up in the business they were in. And so I had a low bar of success. This is important. A low bar of success. Couldn't see hitting RMD. So I set my goal for marketing to believe it. Between marketing director and RMD was all between my ears. And we got close to RMD about 3 years in. And at that time, things started backing up a bit. People were quitting. I had leaders that were fighting with each other, were fighting with us. And it just seemed like it was falling apart. And at this point, I picked up the phone and I called my upline, the one guy upline that even knew we were in at that point, and said, "Bud, I quit. I'm out." And now that might sound crazy that I was quitting at almost RMD, but here's what was going on, and it happens to you too. My past was talking to my present about my future. And because I kept looking at my past as failure, I kept thinking that it was going to apply to my future activities. And until I was able to leave my past in the past, meaning I started to look at it as preparation and believe that I had just been prepared for this time, then I was able to leave that. I was able to divorce my past and get married to my future. And at that point, my past, listen, my past no longer had power over me. I was now focused on where I was going, and my future, the vision I had of my future was now stronger than the memories I had of my past. And that is the thing that changed everything. 3 years in, and once I was able to do that, then I had to break through some self-limiting beliefs that you have, just like I have. Things for me, it was, you'll never be more successful than this. This is where it's all going to fall apart. You knew all along that you weren't ready for that. You didn't have the skill set for it, which is, and everybody coming into this, you have a skill set. You have a here. It might be senior rep. It might be director. Some of you might be really skilled, and it can get you to RMD. But to go beyond where you are when you come in, it requires growth, and you must grow your mindset. And it was, so I came into this with the ability to hit marketing director. I needed to grow to get to RMD. And so in that growth, it hurts. There's a struggle. I say this: new level, new devil. And every time you hit a lid in your life, a leadership lid, when you hit that lid, frustration starts. It's like turbulence in your spirit. Like you start to blame other people. You get angry at people. Your relationships get strained. You blame circumstances. You blame the company. You blame your upline. All these things are going on because you have hit a lid and you're not sure how to break through it. And the breakthrough requires us changing. And since we have never been at this level before where we haven't been, you don't know how to operate at that level. We don't know how to respond to problems, how to interact with people, how to encourage people correctly, how to respond to setbacks. All those things matter. And it requires us, growing ourselves, getting around people who outthink us so that we can start to think like them. Efrosini has a phenomenally strong mindset. I know a lot of the struggles they've come through, the ups, the downs, the people quitting, and the mindset has got to be so strong to stay in through all of that. And it doesn't just happen. It's something we grow into. So I want to encourage you guys, if you are not where you want to be yet, just know it's about you growing you becoming a more valuable version of yourself. You're not competing with anybody else. It's all about how can I add more value to other people. And here's the great news. The great news in our world is that the foundation of success here is you becoming a better you. Because when that happens, you add more value to other people. And when you add more value to other people, more people want to hang out with you. They want to be around you because you add value to their life. And in our world, we get paid more money when more people want to be around us. They just want to spend time with us. That's what we get paid for. So it's all about you growing you. And at the end of the day, that's what all the IMDs have done. We continue to grow ourselves to be able to lead, whatever it is, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people. And it just requires the continued growth.
Such wise words, Terry. I mean, that was so powerful. And I really loved what you said.
After seeing, I'm happy.
Hang on, you cut out there for a little bit, my friend. What happened? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when you were saying in terms of, so mentally, you almost gave up in World Ventures, what was the part that made you say, you know what, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to push through? And what was the moment that you had the breakthrough and you went RMD, NMD, IMD?
So this, I'll tell you how it is for me. For me, I spent 2 weeks at that point where I was out. Like, I'm like, I'm done. This isn't going to work. And I spent 2 weeks praying and fasting. I am a pastor, and so God is a big part of my life. And I just was asking God for help. Literally, please, God, I need help here. And through that process, what I realized is that the problem, because my leadership ability or lack of was causing the problems in my team. Really important right here. Because I wasn't handling issues that were coming into my team well, it was becoming a cancer. And it was my unwillingness as a leader to deal with those things that were allowing them to grow. So I began to realize that I needed to grow as a leader, and I needed to go handle and deal with some of the issues that were coming up, meaning I had to go have some hard conversations with people on my team, leaders on my team. I had to go do that. And because I was finally ready to do it, because God showed me that I was the problem. Once I did that, I chose to become a better leader by doing the difficult things, having the crucial conversations with people. That made a huge difference. The other big thing was I stopped getting my identity from my past, meaning the things that I had failed at, the things I tried to do and didn't do well, and all that stuff is how I saw myself. Once this 2-week period happened, God showed me who I am, who He made me to be. And then I was able to step into that. And I began to look at all the things that had happened simply as preparation. I have been prepared to be a stronger leader, but I needed to choose to step into it. And if there's one thing, you guys, one thing that beyond everything else matters, it's this. You must at some point believe that you belong at the higher ranks. You must. If you never believe that, you will continue to self-sabotage and keep yourself from getting to the higher ranks. Because you don't see yourself there, you will fulfill the image you have of you and keep yourself from getting to the higher ranks. And so what happened for me, Efrosini, is I saw who I could be, who God created me to be, and then I was willing to step in to be that person, to be that leader. And that made all the difference.
Perfect. Perfect. It's very powerful what you just said, Terry, because I remember the day that I made the decision to go IMD, because I can relate to a lot of the stuff that you were saying. IMD was never my focus. I always focused, Baron Schwartz said, focus on the money, not the pin. And I took that literally and I focused on the money, but I forgot about the pin at some point. And I remember the point that I said, you know what? That's it. I'm going IMD. And I literally printed out the IMD logo, the tag, and I posted them on my kitchen, kitchen cupboard, in the toilet, in the bathroom, in every single part of my house. Everywhere that I went, all I would see is that in my phone. And that was the thing, that when you sometimes have a goal that you're pushing for, and it's almost like the longer you push for a goal, it starts to become almost in your mind unattainable. But when you make the decision to achieve the goal, because it's that decision, isn't it? It was one thing to look at a goal and going, I'm doing these.
Oh, baby, it's making a real decision.
Right. And it just takes that one moment where you just go, you know what? It's done. And then everything happens.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I know you're very powerful in terms of with retention. So when you get someone brand new started, what do you do with a brand new person that increases the chances of them staying in the team and therefore having results, whether they stay on as a customer, whether they stay on as a rep, and taking them through the ranks?
We're big on the member world, but at least in the US, I know after being 4 decades around this industry, very few people are actually going to build this as a business. Very, very, look at the compensation or the income disclosure statement. Very few people will build this to the higher ranks, mostly because they never choose to. That's a big deal. So what we try to do at Efrosini is make sure people understand that they bought and get them engaged in it. And this is where we have better success than most. So twice a week, we will do a membership Zoom, literally Wednesday night, Saturday morning. All we do is jump on the website and take people right through the membership site so that they see, here are your points, here's how you use them, here's how you can apply them, here's how you can save money, all the different things that people can do with the membership. So we go through that twice a week, and we really push new members to get on there. It took me several months just to get my directors to agree to moderate, to host the Zoom and teach people their membership. And I knew I needed to get them to do it because I wanted them to learn their membership better, because I knew they didn't know it that well. So we finally got that worked out. But we really push people to the membership. And here's why. We do a lot of team trips, but we also get people using the membership daily. And because they get value out of it fast, they stay in longer. It's everything. If you make it all about the money, or even this, I mean, okay, this will sound crazy, but I think we make too big of a deal about getting your 4. Because if somebody hasn't gotten their 4 on board in the second or third month, they feel like they failed and they quit. I want them to know they made a great investment in the membership. So they have a great membership which costs them nothing, a net zero, because all the money goes toward travel. So we need to help them use this great membership that they bought. So we're all about move people to that. We get duplication pretty well. We're not the fastest growing team in the world. That is 1,000% true. But we have really good retention because we teach people what they've got their hands on. And we try to meet people where they're at, meaning, why did you get in? Like, really, why did you get in? I want people, when I'm enrolling someone, I will stop the enrollment to find out why they're getting in. And listen, I want them to hear themselves tell me why they're getting in. That's why I asked that question. Then we put a plan together to help them get whatever it is they want. I don't try to make them want what I want. We want to help people get what they want. When they are in for their reasons and they're focused on the things they want, they will stay a lot longer. So those two things make a big difference. We have a Facebook page. It's solely for membership, for product. How did you get benefit out of your product? Oh, we went and saved $50 at a hotel here. We bought some money. We went on a dream trip and saved this, whatever. And we have in that Facebook page product testimonials. So we put all of our members only on that product page so that they can see all the different ways that they can use their membership to benefit their life. So those are biggies in retention, Efrosini.
That was perfect, Terry. And as a closing comment, I know there's a lot of people I'm seeing from the comments that are very excited to now come and meet you at Momentum as one of the key trainers. What's one gold nugget you want to finish off with for the people that are watching you right now, and especially the ones that might be on the fence considering to come to Momentum?
Yeah. Oh boy, how much time? Okay, this one thing, and then I'm going to answer that question. Efrosini, you made a comment that I think a lot of people miss. It's the decision. I cannot tell you how important this is. And here's what I mean by that. So when we had been RMDs for 18 months. I looked and things like that. I'm looking at my lineage going, me to get to IMD at this pace. And I'm checking the numbers, I'm doing the math, and I'm like, holy cow, 10 years? I mean, it was going to be 10 more years to get to IMD at the pace we were going. And if you looked at it, we were absolutely doing everything. We were doing it. You can tell we were doing it. It's not like we were just sitting around. But I'm looking at that. This is in July, and however many, 4.5 years in, I guess. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not going to work. That's way too long. So I knew I wanted to be an IMD. I now knew I needed to act different, meaning go faster, if I wanted to be an IMD. I knew my goal was IMD, but I didn't make a change until December, 6 months later, because I had not made a decision to be an IMD. Now, what I'm going to talk to you guys about when we get there is two things. One, specifically how to build this business, the depth, how you make depth happen. Number two, what a real decision looks like. Because I believe this, people will say they've made a decision all the time, but new circumstances happen tomorrow, and people are always re-deciding whether they're going to achieve their goal or not. And this is what plagues all humans, in my opinion. When I get done, I know I'm there with Sasha and Matt. I'm incredibly honored to be there with those two guys. Massive success. But I will tell you this, when I get done, you will know that you deserve more success. You deserve the life that you can see. It's not just for the chosen few, it is really for the few that choose. It's anybody who decides to win here. And you guys know, intuitively, in your mind, you know anybody can win here. But you, most of the time, will continue to disqualify yourself. Oh, and it's excuses. Remember, our stories, how we talk to ourselves, it matters. And if there's one thing I've learned over 45 years around this, is how to speak your heart at a level that I don't believe anyone else speaks to. And you will know without any shadow of a doubt what you need to do going forward with those two other guys and Mark, of course. You will know without any shadow of a doubt what to do, but you'll know why you can win here. And if that's the one thing that you get out of it, is that you finally believe that you belong at a higher success level, not just in World Ventures, it's in life. And I'm going to touch on a lot of those mindset things and how to overcome those self-limiting beliefs. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters. So I'm really excited to get there. My wife's coming with me. I don't know if you guys got ladies things going on, but she's all about the lady stuff. And it's going to be epic, man. I'm sure for me, it's been an 8 years, and it's been a thing that's been burning in me. And so we were real close 2 years ago. And but we never took our eyes off the prize. My goal never changed. Doesn't mean it just happens easily because I've set it as a goal. So anyway, going to bring a lot of passion to that particular event. Excited to get there, Efrosini.
Excited to have you over, Terry. Opa, hang on a second. That's not the one that I wanted to share. Really excited to have you over in Europe for the first time, and excited to see Mary as well. Thank you for jumping on this webinar. Thank you for the value that you've given to the team. Guys, you've heard, you just got a very small taste of Terry. Now you see why his team loves him so much. Not just his team, I'm talking about the World Ventures team. That's why he's so respected, because when you hear him talk, you hear him talk from the heart. Now remember, he's 1 out of 4 trainers. There's a very special prize happening right now that's gonna run out in the next few days. It's only $149. So go straight to your back office, get your ticket. But my invitation to you is never just get one ticket for yourself, because if you come by yourself, multiplication is created at the events. But if there's only one of you, 1 times 1 is still 1. It's not going to make a difference in your team. So get an extra ticket if you can, and see you guys at the view.